Hello. This week we are spotlighting a book from Ohio author Tim Callahan. This is in the series Kentucky Summers. This book is actually Above Devil's Creek. It is book 4 of the series, and this is available in print form, as you can see. And it was published, it says 2010. And there are 8 books in the series. And then the author has also written other books. And I am going to be starting off with the first chapter. Friday, May 26, 1961. Susie stood in front of the blackboard and read her final essay of the school year. She read about how much she enjoyed her 6th grade year in school. Her new teacher, Mrs. Eleanor Holbrook, and, well, I don't remember much else she said. I watched her smile and move her arms as she read the essay. I looked at her strawberry blonde hair bounce as her freckled face moved with each word. I remembered how sincere she seemed as she read. How could anyone make a boring essay so exciting? All I wanted was for the school year to be over, which would happen exactly in 22 minutes. But I could watch Susie for hours. Her eyes sparkled as she read the next page. She paused and looked at me and smiled. I melted into my desk. I then realized she was done and walking towards me. She walked past me and whispered as she walked by, "Your turn." What? Oh, no. I knew I was going to be the last because we drew names the day before, and I was so happy because I was last. I had thought no way everyone will get done in time for me to read any essay that I didn't write because I was last. There was no reason to write it. I was last. What should I do? Timmy, it's your turn. You're the last student of the year. We can't wait to hear what you've written about the school year. Mrs. Holbrook smiled at me in fake anticipation. I didn't believe anyone wanted to hear the words I had written. I gathered up some blank pages that were lying on my desk and stood slowly. I walked to the front of the class and turned around to see all my classmates gawking at me. Purdy was making weird faces. Daniel Sugarman held out his hand over his head like he was pulling a noose around his neck, choking. James Ernest smiled because he knew I hadn't written anything. I had bragged to him the night before about drawing the last slot. He warned me, but of course I didn't listen to him. I wished I was as smart as he was. I fumbled with the papers as long as I could. Timmy, please start. We don't have long, Mrs. Holbrook begged. That was the reason I was fumbling, trying to run out of time. I wasted all the time that I could. My essay is called "Oh, How I Love School," I started. Mrs. Holbrook stopped me before I could continue. Timmy, your pages don't have anything written on them. I know, I answered. Why are they blank? I tried to think quickly. Have you ever tried to think quickly? It hurts, and sometimes it makes you dumber. I blurted out the first thing that came to my mind. Cody ate my essay this morning, but I memorized it before he did. You memorized it? Yes, Mrs. Holbrook. I thought he might eat it, so I memorized it before he ate it. My classmates began laughing. I wasn't sure why. Sugar Spoon's head dipped to the side like the noose had done its job. Oscar had his finger up his nose and almost poked it all the way up to his forehead as he laughed. Then why are you carrying blank paper with you? Mrs. Holbrook asked. Another question. Now I had to think of another answer. Why had this become so hard? So I don't look and feel stupid standing here without paper. Again, laughter filled the school. Quiet down, class. Okay, Timmy, you can continue. He started over. Oh, how much I will miss the school. Sadie yelled out, "That's not what he said. It was the first time. Which is it?" I stared at Sadie, and she stared back at me. Daggers were flying across the classroom between us. The hands on the clock couldn't move fast enough. Bernice, the skunk, agreed with Sadie. He first said it was, "Oh, how I love school." Then, "Oh, how much I'll miss school." Which is it? The kids began arguing about what I said and if it mattered and who cared. And who knows what else. Mrs. Holbrook stood and raised her arms. "The next student besides Timmy who says anything will have to stay after school and wash the blackboards and sweep out the schoolhouse. Understood?" No one said anything. She waited a second and then said, "Start over, Timmy." I cleared my throat and began again. "Oh, how I hate some girls." Mrs. Holbrook stood quickly and said, "Okay, time's up. Timmy, take your seat." Well, that is just the beginning of Kentucky Summer's series, Book 4, Above Devil's Creek by Tim Callahan. This is available in print form, so you can borrow it by going to our website and requesting a copy or calling any of our locations. I thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time.